5 tips to absolutely crush the combat in Zero Sievert. 1. Know your weapon. In the 0.4 update, the shooting system of Zero Sievert has been completely reworked, changing some important aspects of weapon ranges and recoil. Knowing your weapon's effective range is key to taking down enemies quickly with minimal risk to yourself. You can tell the effective range of a weapon by looking at your crosshair. There are 3 different crosshair states you need to look out for: solid white, pink, and a red X. These signify your weapon's effective range and are the difference between doing full damage, 50% damage, and no damage, respectively. It is very important to take this into account when building your loadout and deciding when to take fights, which we will explore in more depth in the next tip. You are able to increase your weapon's effective range with the different optics available. This statistic denotes how much of an increase in range it gives, with higher powered scopes giving a larger boost. 2. Choose your fights. Sometimes the best choice when confronted with an enemy in Zero Sievert is to just not fight them at all. This holds especially true in the early game, when the armor you can acquire is low tier and offers minimal protection. The ammo available to you also has low penetration and won't get through the tier 3 and 4 armor you can encounter. Learning to analyze the loadouts of enemies before engaging them will prevent you from picking fights with much stronger enemies and potentially getting overmatched. Pulling back and living to fight another day will help you consistently survive raids. 3. Learn to stay alert. In Zero Sievert, a lot of gunfights come down to getting the drop on your enemies and not letting them get the drop on you. This is accomplished by utilizing sound and visual cues, as well as using map knowledge to anticipate enemy spawns. The directional sound in Zero Sievert is very good and gives you the ability to pinpoint footsteps from a good distance away. The visuals in Zero Sievert also aid in identifying enemies before they notice you. Some enemies will turn on headlamps and flashlights after 6 p.m., giving away their positions. Be careful, as not all enemies will do this. Constant scanning of your surroundings and slowing down your movement will drastically increase your awareness and reduce the chances of you being surprised by enemies. Remember, there is no timer in this game. The only thing sprinting everywhere is going to accomplish is getting you killed. The last thing that helps me is remembering spawns and enemy counts. Over time, you will learn the normal amount of enemies that spawn in hotspot areas like the sawmill and village. This will give you an edge when engaging enemies and help prevent you from being flanked or surprised by stragglers. 4. Learn enemy behaviors. In Zero Sievert, while animals will just charge at you, human enemies are now a lot more intelligent. They have a diverse range of behaviors and tactics, as well as beefed up kits in the mid and late game. Enemies will be very adept at pushing you now, so repositioning and flanking is very important. They have a slightly reduced awareness towards flanks now, but also have an improved capacity at dealing with hunkered down positions. They will flank or reposition as well, so be on the lookout for that. A lot of their behavior is based on their loadout as well. NPCs carrying submachine guns will more often than not run you down, while NPCs with longer weapons will try to keep their distance in many cases. You can take advantage of this to bait submachine gunners into isolating themselves in their mad dash to chase you, and once they've been handled, swing back around and flank their longer ranged allies. 5. Use your environment. When you are in a raid, the world is a living, breathing environment where the NPCs you encounter follow the same basic rules you do. The only major difference is that you, hopefully, have a functioning brain while the AI does not. This allows you to use the environmental dangers like animals and anomalies to your advantage. I typically keep a mental note of the location of anomaly fields and animal packs, and if I happen to engage enemies nearby, I will fall back and put the environmental danger in between myself and the enemy. This will more often than not thin out the NPC squad, if not wipe them completely. It's a good way to farm higher tier NPCs early on and equalize the extreme difficulty curve in the early game. Environmental objects like buildings are also a great way to force engagements to be on your terms and within your most effective weapon range. The AI will typically follow and investigate your last known position, bait them to a corner and post up on the entrance of that corner at your most effective range. It's another way to equalize early fights. Alright, that's it. I hope these tips help you guys dominate your raids and enjoy Zero Sievert even more. I'll be posting more videos like this as well as experimenting with some new stuff. I plan on uploading 2 to 3 times a week, but it'll just depend on my IRL work. Let me know down in the comments on any other video topics you guys want me to cover. Okay, bye.